This is Issues with Toddy One Skip, and I am Toddy One Skip. Welcome back to my channel. Thank you for allowing me to be part of your day as always. I appreciate you. So there's a few things that have happened. So I was hit up in my comments by a few things, and thank you for that. So I do pay attention, and I think you guys know that because I participate in the comments. So besides the like BS crappy things that are like gossipy, and there's been question: is Zero Dark Tony a Scientologist? Was he a Scientologist? I think that he probably was a Scientologist. I don't know if I don't know. Okay, but here's the thing. Let's say he's not a Scientologist. Let's say that he invented, or he just jumped on the bandwagon here of the ex-Scientology community and was one of the ostracized ones, like Steve Mango, who was ostracized years ago for asking for help. And I remember this. He wanted like a few $100s for a camera so that he could continue telling his story on YouTube. And it was before it was popular to ask for money. Now you see them all asking for money. You see them sometimes only answering super chats. Like, what's that about? So there's a reason why some of these people were pushed out. And there's a thing about critics not blaming other critics, and that is a whole cult on its own. Anybody should be able to see that. There's questions that I was tagged with some people. Anyway, here's the thing about Zero Dark Tony. Let's say that he made this up, and that he's just, he's an actor and he's just trying to get some popularity or something. Okay, let's just say that. He is still showing facts. He is still showing danger. He is still showing that there's something wrong there. Okay, because, his attitude is that he was there. His anger is from this is what happened to him. But the facts are there. So, it's hard to get through his channels. It is. It's hard to get through his shows, I'm not gonna lie. But, I just want to focus on what it is he's trying to say. Aaron has led everybody to believe, by omission again, that, because there's another channel that I was attached to, and I follow his channel. I forget his name, but he goes over language basically, and he was saying that Aaron gave us the misinformation, or the by just omitting the fact that there were 5 people that started the Aftermath Foundation. There were 5 founders, because that's on the very first paperwork this guy showed, the very first paperwork. What happened was Luis had an idea that he shared with Aaron, and that Aaron shared with Mark or Claire, and they shared it with Mike. And that's how the Aftermath Foundation came up. Kudos to Aaron if he came up with the name, because he grabbed it from the Aftermath Foundation. From the show, The Aftermath. And that made sense, because that had, a vibe already going, a phenomena already going, something that was distinct and a good brand already. So the fact that he picked Aftermath, yeah, he didn't pick it out of his ass. He picked it because that was the show. And it made sense. But there weren't just 2 people that founded the Aftermath Foundation. There was exactly what was said, but and he said it. He actually said it. But he also said, it was Luis and I that founded it. Luis came up with the idea, shared it with you the same way you shared it with Mark or Claire. That's just the truth. So again, by omission. So those things you guys, want to hear about and talk about, and the gossip is something. But then somebody sent me Serge Delmar's page. His I don't know how I missed this. I and Aaron has interviewed him, it looked like twice at least that I saw. Anyway, 2 times that I saw Aaron. It might have been more, but I only saw twice. I don't know how I missed that because I watch a lot of Aaron's channels, especially before. Not so much lately, but especially before. And why aren't people speaking about this? So I implore all of you, please go check out his channel. I'm going to link his channel, Serge Delmar. He was a Scientologist, and he is only really speaking about the dangers of Scientology's child trafficking. I mean, it's disgusting, and the fact that it is going on right there in Clearwater, Florida. I'm from Florida, but right there today's day and age, in a place that's a hotel. It's a hotel. And there's young children under the age of 18 years old that are being kept there and having to work crazy hours and doing the unspeakable, because in Scientology it is believed that you don't that there are no children per se. There are just small beings. There are people in small bodies, but that you could be my grandfather and come back as a baby. And it's so distorted, and it goes along with the things that Steve Mango was saying about being love bombed and being sold a bill of shit. Steve is very fortunate that it didn't cost him a kid, because this is the shit that's going on that I want to bring light to. That to me is so much more important than the gossip. I can't believe what I'm hearing. And I can't believe it's not true, because here's the thing, it is true. We know how hard Leah Remini worked as a child. We know that they called her ma'am sometimes, and that she got off on that. And that's okay, because she's a child and she's not equipped to realize that's fucked up and wrong. But these kids are auditing adults that are children. These children are auditing adults that are sharing the deepest, darkest sexual secrets with them that might have to do with them. And they have to sit there because they're not considered children and listen to it with a straight face as if it's not getting to them. Guys, this is what we need to talk about. I want to know why people aren't more involved in talking about this. Where can we go with this? How can we help with this? I'm going to tag missing and exploited children. Listen, we could go into Waco, Texas and do what we did there, and we can't do any better than what's going on here? Guys, seriously? Come on. This is, we're going to talk more about this, but this is like, so if you're a Scientologist parent, which is almost like a joke, what a fucking oxymoron. But if you are, and you give your children, you get them into the Sea Org, you benefit from that financially. Children, there's labor laws in the state of Florida, right? I mean, I don't know. There's something Serge said about the laws in Florida, and nothing surprises me there. But this can't be legal. We can't traffic children in the United States of America that I'm aware of. I don't give a fuck what state we're in. And pardon my language. But we have heard about this. And so here's another thing. I've got some stuff to share with you, actually. I think first-handedly, Serge knows that Mike was part of this. And Mike knew about this. Mike Rinder, who's part of the board. Mike, if that's the case, why aren't you speaking up? Why aren't more people speaking up about children, man? Why aren't more people speaking up about children? Let me share with you what I got, okay? And let's talk about it a little bit, all right? All right, hang on, guys.
And going back to like the government doesn't understand that, because the problem with the American government is nobody bothered to do the due diligence on L. Ron Hubbard. And it's not just the government, it's the mainstream media institutions, the New York Times, who decided to give L. Ron Hubbard the best New York Times bestseller. And it's like, did you bother to read the book? Anyone at the New York Times? Hello, how do you think my parents got recruited? It's like, oh my God, I have this book from the New York Times bestseller. And it's like, did anyone at the New York Times read that L. Ron Hubbard was saying that, girls can be kissed and they shouldn't be reacting if they did? Well, you gave a platform to a full degenerate that was trying to mainstream, rampant pedophilia. And you know what? He got his way, because look at these hotels. Look at how things operate. Look how everyone is running around playing dumb, pretending that they're doing a religious experience when you just said it. It's like, why do you have Natalie Galbiati, a young, hot girl, in the cover of your magazine to as a honeypot to lure more people that want to be asked questions about disgusting sexual things, and that is what auditing is. It's through and through. It's like, and the reason that I say that, Aaron, is L. Ron Hubbard said that withholds are the reason his stupid ass technology just disintegrates, right? Like, if you just have one withhold, and the technology cannot be applied. So, and that applies to whether you're on OT8 or whether you're on ARC Straightwire at the very beginning. So now you're going to tell me this incredible and magical technology falls apart if you just have one single secret from somebody, and that's how these sessions then do turn into this, like, well, what are you not telling us? What are you withholding? La, 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 la. And, and the truth is that these auditors can give themselves license to go wherever they want. Like, they're never going to get disciplined for asking a sexual question, because if that was the area of withholds, right? And it's like, and in the case of teenagers that were having like their hormones changing and becoming sexual, because that was what's so ridiculous about this too. You were having to like, experience yourself sexually, but you were surrounded in this environment where it wasn't for you to be, figuring out any of this. We never had innocence. That's the point. We were, L. Ron Hubbard infantilized all the adults and adulticized all the kids. So I would love the government to explain to us, because this is a problem of America, Aaron. It's like, America, the land of the free, slavery is abolished. Well, you know what? How was I brought from Mexico made a slave in America if it's supposed to be abolished in this, like, literally the 20th century, right? Like, we're talking recently, people. So
and in an auditing session, you're not allowed to interrupt an auditing session. So literally you're going into
each room had a massage table, by the way.
Right, because it was supposed to be an assist table. And you're going into a locked room in a hotel. And when you, in the beginning of an auditing session, when you pick up the cans of the e-meter, the auditor has a certain procedure to make sure you're connected to the meter properly. That almost always includes loosening your pants. Or if you're a woman, loosening or taking off your bra, untucking your shirt, taking off your shoes, taking off your socks. Some people would just take off their pants. And you're in don't forget, you need some hand cream. So now imagine you're Natalie Galbiati. You're a 15, 16-year-old girl. You're in a locked hotel room with a man, and you're having him loosen or take off his pants and get comfortable. And, it's fucking sick.
Pathetically wanting to exploit anything that isn't worth exploiting, you guys. These people need a wake-up MF call, and they're not getting it because people keep cradling and canoodling their delusions. Their Goo Goo Gaga for L. Ron Hubbard couldn't be more unfounded, couldn't be more disgusting, because they all decided to implicate children in their adult-only game. Their little extreme role play game that they play inside of that hotel that ain't suitable for a shred of child. There's only one thing that needs to happen in these hotels. Every single last 21 and under child needs to leave the goddamn hotel. They are not able to consent to what they're going to be asked to do inside of those hotels, you guys. And that's just really simply the bottom line. As much as everyone wants to make this a very complicated subject, that for 73 years, can you imagine 73 years of these people getting away with it because there's not a shred of advocate on the record speaking of the kids and the kids alone, and making a separate bucket for what in the hell the kids are being put through by the collective of adult infantilized degenerates that are all Goo Goo Gaga for L. Ron Hubbard and anything he said without a shred of critical thinking. All of L. Ron Hubbard's materials are easily available. The fact is, the press that wants to be glib AF doesn't want to read those materials. doesn't want to understand what an auditing session is, doesn't want to understand what an ethics session is, doesn't want to understand what courses are. If you don't understand those 3 words I just said, then you don't understand Scientology. And no one can help you being that willfully ignorant, willfully not wanting to do a shred of due diligence to get up to speed is what in the hell is called. Get up to speed already. And stop regurgitating talking points you get from executives that couldn't be more compromised AF. And who had no spine when they were inside of the hotel, and who left without a spine when they left the hotel. I mean, imagine that, you guys. 18 years and you haven't grown a spine yet? But how's that grift going? How successful are you in your new grift? Because apparently you are extremely successful. Well, congratulations. I hope you're celebrating that part. Because the questions we need answered from Debbie Cook, the questions we need answered from Mike Rinder, the questions we need answered from Marty Mark Rathben and Angie Blankenship and Lori Englehart and Dave Pettit are why were y'all recruiting underage kids to make them auditors, ethics officers, and course supervisors? Start answering that MF question right the hell now. And before you say it was all David, it's all of you together. Claire Headley, you too. Contribute to the conversation. Tell us, as the RTC rep pack, what else did you see when you were in RTC doing your RTC rep stuff, Claire Headley? What else did you see as the senior of the, ethics section of RTC? Since you were the Haas RTC, what did you see? Was Shane your junior? The legal officer RTC? What else do you know? What else do all of you know that you're not saying? What else do all of you know that you did as a team, coordinating thereby and therewith? Because those are the receipts that are missing AF. But you know what's not missing? The amount of kids that you all literally affected.
Hey guys, what do you think of all that stuff? Tell me that that's not crazy. We're going to dive into this. We're going to make videos about this. We're going to talk about this. We're going to bring this to light. Hopefully, we're going to bring it to light. So after these videos, please watch them till the end, because I'm going to put up faces of missing children. I'm not saying that these are Scientologists missing children, but that these are missing children because, if one person can find one of these kids, that would be great, So we're going to stay on the ball. Listen, I know you guys, I know that we like gossip because that's kind of like harmless and stuff. And we're going to continue on with this, but this is really important, and I think that we can make a difference here. Let's do this. Let's do this. Let's pay attention to this. Let's see if we can't help in any which way we can, because, we got to give a voice to kids. We got to give a voice to kids, right? And please check out Serge's channel. I'm going to link it below. These videos I'm going to go ahead and link below as well. Thank you so much, guys. This is Issues with Toddy Oneskip. By the way, I did want to, listen, you got to make a little bit of light somewhere. Tom Cruise. Here's my thinking on his theory. If he honestly believes that that we keep coming through life, Scientologists believe that, and they keep coming back, and hopefully they keep coming back as Scientologists. Do you think that Tom Cruise really believes that perhaps when his daughter, when it's time for him to pass, that he'll come back in her life? He believes that he's going to come back in her life, that she is not just a child that misses her dad, but is an older being in the little body? Is that his excuse? Is that what he thinks? And if something happens to Miscavige, rumor has it, didn't Doug think that maybe Tom Cruise would take over? Who do you think would take over? In the seriousness of missing children, and of exploited children, and of just the injustice of children, please share this video to anybody you can. Please. Thank you, guys. Listen, participate in the chat. It's an important conversation. And you could also go into the fun stuff, the stuff that really is like the slush in a day, the gossip. But don't forget there's a bigger thing going on here, too. Okay, guys, listen. Thanks again. Issues with Toddy Oneskip. Remember, be better today than you were yesterday, but not half as good as you're going to be tomorrow. Thanks, guys.